We're going to take a little detour here before coming back to supply. If you're a firm, then we generally say that you have two types of costs, two types of things that you have to pay for because of the output that you're producing. Those two different types of costs we call fixed costs and variable costs. Fixed costs are ones that don't change as we produce more. Variable costs are ones that do change as we produce more. Now, importantly, those fixed costs can exist even if we produce nothing. Think back to our fishing boat example. We still have to pay the fees to dock our boat. We still have to pay the loan on our boat. These sorts of things we will still have to pay even if we choose not to fish at all today. Variable costs are ones that are going to change. So in our fishing boat example, maybe that's the cost of labour, maybe it's the cost of fuel. These sorts of things do change as we change the amount that we're going to produce. So now, quick question, as we're deciding how much to produce, which of these should we be paying attention to? The fixed costs or the variable costs? Well, if you think about this, those fixed costs aren't able to change as we produce more or less output. That is, we have to pay those regardless of what we do. They aren't affected by the decision of how much to produce. The only thing that is affected is these variable costs. And so that's what we should pay attention to as we're deciding how much to produce. Now then, how much should we produce? Well, that depends on how much it costs to sell, or how much it costs to produce our products, and how much we can sell them for. We could think of this as another application of one of these rational rules. So let's work through these various principles that we have, these various core principles of economics, and think about how they will relate to a decision about how much to sell. So in this particular example, we're thinking about how many gallons of gasoline we should sell. This maybe is not the best example in the world. I don't really love this example because it's hard to think of gas sellers as being perfectly competitive, but this is the example our textbook uses, so that's what I'm going to use here. So we're wondering how many gallons of gas we should sell. Well, one of our core principles is the marginal principle, which says break this down into incremental decisions. Break it down into small, one at a time, if you like, decisions. So we're deciding, should we sell the next gallon of gasoline? In order to do that, we compare costs and benefits. What's the benefit of selling an extra gallon of gas? Well, we get to sell it at the current price, so we get in money equal to the current price. What's the cost? Well, selling that gasoline has some cost for us. We have to buy the gasoline in order to resell it. Maybe there's some delivery costs that we have to incorporate. So we'll think about the comparison between the price and the extra cost for selling that extra gallon, the marginal cost. We remember those marginal costs include only those things that we can change. That is, they only include variable costs. And so then we come to the decision of we sell one more gallon if our price is greater than or equal to our marginal cost. If the price of that next gallon that we could sell is greater than or equal to the marginal cost of producing and selling that gallon. Oh, I forgot to fill in that guy there. Our marginal cost, because it is changing as we sell one more thing, could only possibly consist of variable cost. What that means then is that we shouldn't be thinking about the fixed costs as we're deciding about how much to sell, and our rational rule here emphasizes that.